Yeah, so for the last 10 years, our focus has very much been with this, aligning with banks to help them increase their customer engagement. So one of the tools, we're a market leader in Europe in personal finance management, so essentially allowing banks to be the financial coach for their customers. And all of this is built on allowing banks to innovate on top of their transaction data. And a natural extension to this is then looking at other ways that we can help banks leverage this transaction data. And one of them is this rewards platform. And the rewards platform is essentially bringing three stakeholders together. It's the banks, with merchants and their end users. And the point of this is to drive, again, digital engagement within the bank's channels. So what we're doing, it's cashback rewards, cashback offers. So as a company or as users of the bank, they're consenting that they will send their data to us. We will then be in a cloud-based multi-bank network. We'll be analyzing this data and then allowing merchants to target customers specifically with rewards. So as an example, it could be a coffee shop wants to try and acquire new customers. So they will look at that data and then we will segment the users, and then these rewards will be pushed into the bank's digital channels. Sure, with open banking, yes. I think it's making banks realize that they need to be doing things more like this, collaborating together. So not just partnering with fintechs, but also partnering with other banks. And with this kind of product, what you really need is scale. So what we're doing now is some really exciting stuff in the Nordics, which is bringing these banks together on this single multi-bank hub. And that means that we can achieve scale, because with anything like this, there's many rewards programs, loyalty programs, but unless you have scale, then you really can't be delivering value to all of these stakeholders. The merchants want the customers want the merchants, the banks, of course, want both. So if they come together with their combined efforts, it's not only benefiting the program, it's revenue generating as well. So this is a real use case for banks in the open banking environment to realize this is a new business model we can create. So sure, as a bank, we have to open up our data, but we can also be leveraging on GDPR, the spirit of open banking. We can be combining our forces and actually delivering something meaningful. I like to kind of align it with the likes of Uber, that if you're thinking about taking a taxi, of course, you tell them where you have to go, you have to pay at the end, but it's rather similar when it comes to rewards programs. You haven't got to have a physical card, you haven't got to have a voucher, it's making everything seamless. So as a user, I would receive these cashback rewards in the digital bank. I then think, okay, this looks like a great place I want to go for lunch. You don't need to show anything, you don't need to do anything, you just shop as normal with your cards, and the cashback comes into your account. So it's just making everything really seamless, really frictionless. It's the next level of where these kind of loyalty programs need to get to. So there's the three parties we talked about. There's the consumers, there's the merchants and the banks. The merchants, the benefits are clear. It's the ability to segment the users, target specific users. And of course, when it's bank customers and many banks, so we're working with the leading banks in the Nordics, then they're doing this at scale. The benefit for the banks, yeah, we've touched on, is the engagement. That's the key piece. It's thinking, how can we go beyond banking? When it comes to open banking, banks really need to think, how can we differentiate? How can we create a unique user experience? There's going to be threats coming. The reason the banks are coming together, multi-bank, is it's allowing them to raise the barriers of entry for others that could come in and build similar services. So there's the engagement piece for the banks, and also it's revenue generating. And that's another crucial thing for banks now to think, okay, if we're having to give away data to third parties, they can monetize it, but how can we benefit and monetize from this data? So for them, it's revenue generating. Just very simply, we operate a sales team, the technology, the platform. We take revenue from this, as well as the bank. So we share this between us as this kind of mutual beneficial ecosystem.